Hi, I'm a dad. I go to the grocery store and I shop for food for my family. And I made a turn a couple of years ago to try and improve my health because I discovered that I had some kind of blood pressure issues, and I also had some issues with the triglycerides and the glucose level, all that kind of good stuff. Found out that all these foods that I was buying, and I wasn't going extreme here, I was just buying regular foods like anybody else, but it turns out that they were contributing to my poor health. That, and my son has difficulty focusing in school. He's one of those lucky kids that has ADHD. And I made a conscious decision that I would not medicate my son for something like that. I think there are enough zombies walking around in the United States, and we didn't need one more. So I made a concerted effort to find out about what is in our food supply and learn about what is going on with our agricultural system, that they're producing this kind of crap instead of the wholesome products that I remember when I was a kid. You see all those ads on TV back then, and how the nice pastoral settings, the farms, and there's tractors, and there's hay, color, wagons running around, and it's just a nice, pretty picture. But then I found out what it really looks like. Monsanto is at the root of this. They benefited the most from the change in our agricultural system. They're one of a few companies that have this stranglehold on farming. And guess who's paying for it? And not just you and me at the grocery store. I mean, certainly we walk into a grocery store and we buy foods, and by that conscious decision to buy a certain type of food, you're sending a message. But you're also a taxpayer. I know I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for the money that I make. And it pisses me off to no end that I don't have enough money to survive myself, and yet I'm giving money to a multi-billion-dollar company like Monsanto. And how does that happen? You're paying farmers subsidy to grow corn, and not just any corn. You're paying it to buy this corn that you cannot eat unless it has been processed. It's inedible. You have to send it off to some company to process it. And by the way, they're farming it so big and so wide. Everywhere you look, there's a cornfield, right? Well, out west, there's thousands and thousands of acres of corn that you can't eat. And it produces an overabundance of corn to the point where they're not selling it at a price that's profitable for the farmer. How do they get by? That's where you and I come in. We pay the subsidy. We give them a check to overproduce this product. Well, what does that have to do with Monsanto? I'll tell you what it has to do with Monsanto. Monsanto owns the patent on the seed. That's where they stick it to the farmer. They force the farmer to buy their seed. They have an army of lawyers that go out there and sick companies that help the farmer do like they used to do for centuries and harvest the seed from the crops that they grew. Well, if it's a Monsanto seed and they have the patent, you're breaking the law. So if you help the companies farmers by cleaning the seed like they used to do for centuries, they'll sick armies of lawyers on you, run you out of business. If you're a farmer and you've got a Monsanto product growing on your fields and you didn't pay Monsanto for it, they'll send an army of lawyers in and sue your ass. And guess what? Monsanto can't prove that the farmer planted it there. They can't control their own genetically modified products because they're winding up in fields that the farmers didn't plant. They're showing up in states that have banned genetically modified products. And Monsanto just kind of, so what? We can't control nature. That's absolutely right. You cannot control nature. You should not control nature. I don't want you to control nature. And I sure as hell don't want you to control me or my government. But that's exactly what's happening. The United States government has laws in place to protect a business from the people. Once upon a time, it was the other way around, when they had antitrust laws put in place to protect people, consumers, from gigantic companies like Monsanto. You cannot sue Monsanto. Monsanto is evil. They're trying to patent life itself, and they're trying to own the world. Nothing short of that. They're evil and they must be stopped. I've made my stand. I refuse to be subjected to this criminal abuse by mega corporations, and I will continue to make my voice heard at the grocery stores by not going. To the best of my ability, go to the farmers, local, organic farmers. Get to know them, because you'll never get to know the people at Monsanto. And if you do, you'll probably wind up in prison. Monsanto is evil, and they must be stopped.